As of April 1st, on the OCG only fusion synchro monsters will only be summoned. Monsters will be summonable to the main monster zone in addition to. What the fuck?
It's time
Hello, my precious students, and welcome to a new video for the New Obsidian Duel Academy. Today I am going to talk about some of the new changes to the rules, while explaining how some of the mechanics still work for the returning players that are currently going on. So, what I have right here is extra deck monsters that comes out of the extra deck, plus the main deck monster that can come out of the extra deck as well, aka pendulums. So as it stands right now, pendulum monsters are, or not pendulum monsters, extra deck monsters has to go by a link monster. So what I have right here is Wee Witch's Apprentice to demonstrate. So in order to have multiple monsters, extra deck monsters out currently, you have to have a link monster. Excuse me. These two arrows right here are for where extra monsters can go after a link monster is summoned. These darker arrows right here mean nothing. They're just emptiness. These red ones is what we worry about. So now, say we have Wee Witch's Apprentice out and we have a board set up to get more extra monsters out. Say we have enough to get Stardust Dragon out, happen to have a level 4 and a tuner, and then Dark Magician out with Eye of Timaeus. Just speculating. So essentially what that would do is allow you to have a small... Oop, my bad. Trying to remove that glare. Yeah, that's not going to happen. My bad. So, now with some of the new rule changes, it's not so much of a master rule, it's more of like a revision rule. I thought it was a master rule at first, but then I did a little bit more digging. This card, thrown out the door. Now we're going back to regular strategies where we can spam out synchros, fusions, and XEs, which is great in my opinion because a lot of older strategies get to come back, as well as some other changes that I'm still trying to understand. Could also bring back other eccentric style decks that are otherwise considered slow, but that will probably be more on that on a later video as more information comes out. So anyways, you can now, as of April 1st, and it's no longer OCG only like previous, because in the morning of this video, TCG also got the same release on the same day for April 1st, 2020. So on April 1st, 2020, you can start spamming out synchros, fusions, and XEs. However, pendulum monsters, such as this, if they come out of the extra deck, they must require a link monster still, or they go back to the extra monster zone. If they are your synchros, XEs, and fusions, they can go to the extra monster zone, but they also can go to the main monster zones as well, which allows you to still have like Dark Synchro return, or what other deck? Burning Abyss can easily return without using a link monster. Light Sworns. Any type of deck that just spams synchros or XCs like crazy gets to return without needing the link monsters. So even Galaxy monsters don't. Once again, Galaxy Eyes don't need link monsters. I have a friend that plays Galaxy Eyes, and she doesn't use link monsters too terribly much, and she makes it work without the link monsters. Now, she gets more of a board. Now, I think this is a good idea, but at the same time, a bad idea. I think it's a good idea, as unbiased as I am. I love my synchros. So, we get to see the return of Quasar Eye's Synchro Dragon. No big deal. That I love that. That is just my deal. Of course, you get the board of Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon, and Stardust Warrior back again through the Synchrons and Dark Synchro builds. So that's going to be a recurrence. What I think is really cool, but also terrifying for the fusion decks. Oops, my bad. Didn't mean to knock my system. For what I think is scarier for the fusion decks and cards that use fusion cards, Thousand Eyes Restrict is going to be not just sitting there on board waiting to be sacked for Link Rebo anymore. It just can sit there all day prepping and being ready to be used if you decide to use a hand trap or something along those lines of having a monster out on board. Take it, goodbye. That's something I find scary, but and could potentially turn into a bad thing. It could turn around and get banned again. I'm hoping not. But a lot of that's going to happen. And then there's the XCs, which I've always personally felt was slow, unless you're playing Raid Raptors. That's a whole different ball game. So I don't see any terrible changes. I don't see the changes being terrible for XCs monsters. However, for the changes when it comes to the pendulums, where it says stuck like this forever, where you have to have a link monster and a pendulum in order for the pendulums to be summoned from the extra deck monster zone, or extra deck, excuse me. I'm getting too excited for this. I'm sorry. I think because of pendulums being way overpowered for that sense, still requiring link monsters, especially with Heavy Metal Foes, Electrum it still keeps that part of the game balanced. We can already still spam like crazy a bunch of link monsters, but now you can choose between if you want to spam a deck of a bunch of link monsters, a bunch of XCs, a bunch of fusions, or a bunch of synchros. Now you had a choice without having to rely solely on, oh hey, I need a link monster still. You don't anymore. And I think that's actually pretty cool. I hate when links came out. That's the one thing I hated the most. And I get it. Konami was trying to balance out the game. But as soon as links came out, it was already broken. So all we really had was a bunch of link spamming decks. And I think the new rule changes, the new revision, actually changes that to where you're free to have your own style again. Like for me, again, I have the synchro style. Synchro summoning has always been my most favorite mechanic of the game, and I will never ever try to put that down. So, any questions? Leave a comment down below in the video. If you hope that this, if you think this video is informative, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you are ever, if my questions or your questions cannot be answered by me, feel free to join the Discord server. Link in the description below. And I will have my teachers help you as well. I have a few teachers that are well more knowledge on what's going on than me, and even the school board is still a little bit well knowledged. I just wanted to brush up on this because I thought, hey, this seems pretty cool. Let's go for it. Anyways, thank you for your time at the Academy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!